Good morning, and thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. We appreciate that, and we do have a lot to talk about this morning, including a first alert weather day. So let's get right over to meteorologist Tyler Hughes for a check on that first alert forecast. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, ladies. How are you this morning?
Doing great.
All right. Getting ready for this rain headed our way later, right?
Yes, getting ready for the rain. The good news is it looks like it moves out in time for Halloween.
Perfect.
So we should be all good on that front. More on that later. But we do have to get through a first alert weather day first. This afternoon and this evening, we're talking rain in excess of 1 to 2 inches in some spots, wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour. And so not only will that affect the evening commute, but also any outdoor activities, and could even cause some localized flooding concerns as well. The state's only live radar beginning to pick up on some of this rain already. Over the last hour or two, it's been moving in portions of Fairfield County, even some parts of New Haven and Litchfield County, getting in on some heavy rain right now as well. So this will continue to lift through the western part of the state over the next few hours, and then eventually through the afternoon, all of us will get in on some heavier rainfall here. As the warm front moves through, Futurecast has the heaviest of the rainfall around or just after the evening commute. So 5, 6, 7 o'clock, that's when you'll begin to see downpours pretty much across southern New England. Eventually, though, look at this. The cold front clears out, and by tomorrow morning, we're left with some gusty winds that stick around through the day, but the rain has moved out. And so Halloween is looking mostly dry, all things considered. There is a bit of a flooding risk, so coastal Fairfield County, that's where you have a coastal flood advisory that remains in effect from 4 to 8 o'clock tonight. Again, it's those typically vulnerable areas. If you know you live in an area right along the coast that normally has some splash over, or if you live in an area that has poor drainage, just keep that in mind, because we will be seeing some heavy rainfall rates, especially during the evening commute and just after the evening commute as well. A bit of a windy one, too. The trick-or-treat forecast, gusty at times, winds 30 to 40 miles per hour, but it is looking mostly dry tomorrow evening with temperatures around 50 to 55. So you may not need that full winter jacket over the Halloween costume, but you may need that outer layer of some kind. Sunset tomorrow, 5:46 p.m., by the way. All right, I'll have much more on the extended forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, though, let's get you a check of the roads on this Thursday morning. Good morning, Kate.
All right, good morning. It's 7:03 on the dot. Heading out the door, we got a couple issues out there. Let's start you off with the first alert in Hartford. 91 southbound between exits 30 and 29A. The right shoulder blocked off. Just a reminder, slow down, move over. It's the law here. We've got emergency crews on scene. Connecticut State Police tow truck working to clear this vehicle that was involved in that issue here. Also dealing with a crash still left over from New Britain. This was first reported about 2:15 this morning. And while the crash site has technically cleared, crews are still on scene doing some emergency maintenance work. This is along Route 72 eastbound between exits 2 and 1D. The right and center lanes there remain blocked off. Now, I don't know if we still have a camera crew live on scene here. If we can take those, there we go. Perfect. Thank you so much. So this is a live look at some of that emergency road work that they were doing, repairing that guardrail. We've got some machinery, DOT again on scene, Connecticut State Police still there working on a traffic detail. So traffic is definitely slow going through this stretch as you're heading out the door because of that one lane that's still blocked off with those 2 lanes that are closed here this morning. So just expect some delays as you're heading out the door. Besides that, we got, again, a couple crashes that we're following, one in Hartford, one here in New Britain. Your drive times, though, all looking pretty typical with normal delays down through Fairfield County. Let's check your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, we're on top of breaking news right now in Hartford. Police have blocked off a portion of Franklin Avenue for an investigation.
Your reporter Roger Susanin is there live at the scene with the latest. So Roger, break down everything we know.
Good morning, ladies, and there is a lot going on right now. Let me step aside and kind of show you the scene. I'll actually take a walk with you. They're actually starting now to clear this scene just a little bit, but you can see a large police presence. Here's what we know. When we arrived, photographer Hunter D'Antonio and I saw one person lying in the ground, actually not all that far from that minivan that you see driving right now. It appears that that person had been hit by a car, run over. That person was conscious. It appeared to be an adult male or an adult female. And again, they appeared conscious, and they were talking with police and medical staff as well. As you can see, Franklin Avenue, just as we are live this morning, has now reopened. They had both sides of the road closed until a pretty short time ago. You can see now, though, traffic is back to normal. In fact, folks are hopping on the school bus here. But again, what we know right now is that apparently one person was hit here on Franklin Avenue in Hartford. They got medical attention. They did appear conscious, and right now they are on the way to the hospital. Of course, as soon as we learn more information, we'll share it with you right away. Reporting live in Hartford, I'm your reporter, Roger Suzanne, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Roger, thanks for staying on top of that breaking news. We're going to continue our team coverage right now because it is a first alert weather day.
Yeah, and while the morning commute should be fine this morning, it's the ride home that could be tough.
This time of year also can pose some hidden dangers on wet roads. Your reporter, Taylor Knight, has what you need to know to stay safe.
One of the biggest threats is those leaves. It is a breezy morning out here. The wind is starting to pick up. The leaves are kind of blowing around on the ground out here, and they can create slippery conditions once it does start to rain later today, but they can also be a big factor in street flooding. Take a look at all of these leaves and then this storm drain. It is completely clogged up by leaves, so when it does start to rain, the water can't get down into the sewer system. That, of course, could cause some street flooding. I saw several drains that look just like this in Rocky Hill and a few here on Main Street. The best way to prevent this is by just clearing your drains on your way out the door this morning. Just take a few minutes, clear the leaves off of your drains, and don't forget to clear your gutters as well. Your reporter in Wethersfield, Taylor Knight, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Taylor, thank you. Right now, people in parts of the Caribbean are just trying to survey the damage left behind by Hurricane Melissa.
Yeah, there's so much there. Parts of Cuba, Haiti, and Jamaica were hit hard by this monster storm. You're looking at video right now that shows widespread flooding in Cuba's second largest city. The military had to rescue people trapped in isolated communities where officials feared there would be devastating landslides.
No deaths have been reported in Cuba. More than 700,000 people, though, were evacuated before that storm, and they're just now starting to slowly return home.
Well, let's take a look at the damage in Jamaica. People in Montego Bay, just one of the hardest hit areas here. They are already working to remove debris, clearing the road so supplies can be brought in. Many homes, as you can see here, are destroyed. Over 25,000 people are in shelters on the western part of the island. Emergency relief flights started landing on the island late Wednesday night, bringing in food, water, and other necessities.
Well, this morning, polls will open for extended hours for early voting in this year's local elections. Voting runs from 8 in the morning until 8 o'clock tonight today, and it continues tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 until 6. If you have not registered yet, you can do so at your polling location. Election day is Tuesday, and the results could impact your tax bills, local roads, and schools.
Today, state and local leaders will call on the federal government to restore food assistance benefits for more than 300,000 people in our state. Funding for SNAP is set to run out on Saturday. And in Hartford, the city's mayor and local nonprofits will talk about the resources available to the 6,000 families who rely on SNAP benefits. In East Hartford today, Attorney General William Tong and Congressman John Larson will meet with healthcare providers to discuss the impact on their patients.
This morning, we're hearing from a few of the people in our state who rely on those SNAP benefits. They tell us they're worried about how they will be able to buy food for themselves and their families after benefits run out on Saturday.
I've gotten to the point where I'm actually able to settle and I'm eating better, I'm getting healthier, I have a lot of ailments, and my diet is really important to me, and I'm getting to the point where I can heal from all the homelessness and trauma I've been through my whole life, and I'm trying not to cry. And this is going to impact me so much. I know I'm going to end up sick again.
Now, if you're able to help, local food pantries and Connecticut Food Share are in desperate need of donations. The state gave them $3 million, but that's only expected to last about 2 weeks. We have more information about how you can support them on our website and mobile app.
Already, we're seeing the community step in here. Local businesses stepping up to make sure families who rely on SNAP don't go hungry. Cheeks Chicken and Waffles in Manchester is serving free meals for kids starting Saturday and will continue until those benefits are restored. He says his own experience made him want to support his neighbors going through a tough time.
I'm a dad, and I have a son, 2 years old, and I feel it's the blessing, it's the best thing in my life, and I can't go, see him without meals, without anything, Well,
the restaurant is also collecting donations on their website if you'd like to help.
New information this morning about that deadly shooting in Killingly Monday night. Police say a woman shot a man in front of a little boy while they were watching the movie Toy Story. Police say the suspect told troopers she shot the victim after he came after her and say that she appeared to be intoxicated. Our crew saw the suspect being put in handcuffs as she was loaded into an ambulance. She's now in jail on murder and other charges.
All right, let's take you town by town here for a look at what's happening across our state today.
Yeah, we want to start you off in Hartford, where today high school students will have the chance to learn about careers in aerospace manufacturing.
So local companies are hosting this trade show at the convention center. They say the industry needs more workers, and they hope this event attracts more future employees. And today in West Hartford, state leaders will share some important trick-or-treating safety reminders ahead of Halloween tomorrow. It's one of the deadliest days for drivers and pedestrians, and experts say it's everyone's responsibility to keep people and the road safe. So if you plan to go trick-or-treating, make sure you stay on the sidewalk as much as possible and use the crosswalk when you're crossing the street. Drivers should slow down, keep a close eye out on people walking. Don't forget, kids are unpredictable here, so be careful if they dart out on the side of the street.